What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on Draftkings for Monday, March 1st. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comments section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. We're rounding out the bottom of my top 10, and this one's going to be wild. Josh Richardson, Robert Covington, Joel Embiid, LaMelo Ball, and Dwayne Bacon on the outside looking in. Yes, we're making bacon today. Who will be my favorites, my top 5 plays for today? It is time to find out. First up, we're going to Luka Doncic. Point guard eligibility, 10,700, projected for 57.5. The goal is 59.5. He's in the optimal lineup 18% of the time. I'm giving him big minutes, 36. We're talking 1.6 fantasy points per minute, 37% usage, almost 31 real points, almost 9 boards, actually 9 assists, steal, a little over a steal, a half block. Slight pace down spot against Orlando, but this is a great spot. Vooch, not a good defensive center. The rest of this team is in shambles. They're missing a bunch of bodies, no Fultz, no Aaron Gordon. We're missing somebody else too, right off the top of my head that I can't remember. James Ennis also out. I got there. It's really difficult to remember James Ennis's name when he doesn't matter at all. This is just a fantastic spot for Luka. I don't mind that price tag at all. I wish that he had the additional eligibility. If he had the small forward eligibility as well, he could really skyrocket. But for now, even if you can only put him in at point guard, he's one of my 5 best plays. Now, these guys are flip-flopped on FanDuel. I prefer Luka to Lillard on FanDuel. I prefer Lillard to Luka on DraftKings. Point guard eligibility, 10,400, projected for almost 56, goals 58, optimal lineup, 19% of the time. Basically, everything I said for Luka is the same. We're talking 1.5 fantasy points per minute, big minutes, 35% usage, 33 real points, 10 assists, 4 boards, pace neutral spot against Charlotte, but similar to Orlando, not a great defensive matchup. I mean, it is for Dame, but they're not very good on D. Whether it's Cody Zeller, Bismack Biyombo, or PJ Washington anchoring the center spot, it's just not going to be a top flight matchup. So you're good to go. You get an average to below average-ish defense, pace neutral spot, and a guy that's going to be just straight up heaving. 1.5 fantasy points per minute at a guy that's going to play as many minutes as you would project anybody to play on this slate. Damian Lillard is going to be at the top of that heap. So those rates and those minutes are difficult to ignore, and that's why he gets the slight nod over Luka Doncic today. Next up, number 3, Victor Oladipo. Turned down a contract today, but I'm not turning him down in my lineups. What a great line. 7,700, point guard, shooting guard eligibility, projected for 41, goals 49, optimal lineup 19% of the time. We're talking 34 minutes, I hope. Could be 32. Still going to look good either way. 1.2 fantasy points per minute without John Wall on the floor. I'm expecting Wall to sit out today based on rest for the back-to-back. 29% usage, 21 points, 6 assists, 6 boards, a steal and a half. Slight pace down spot against Cleveland, but you're not really worried about the matchup. You get the multi-position eligibility, and you get Victor Oladipo running the offense in John Wall's stead. He's not going to be there. Victor Oladipo is just going to take it all over. We still don't have Christian Wood yet, so this is going to be Victor Oladipo and to a lesser extent, Eric Gordon's team. I expect both of those guys to dominate the touches, and I see no reason why you wouldn't want to play Victor Oladipo at 7,700 unless we get some sort of word that his minutes are going to be limited. I don't expect that. That's why I gave him 34. If this is competitive, I think he plays the full freight, and you're going to want him at 7,700. Speaking of Eric Gordon, number 2, Eric Gordon. Point guard, shooting guard eligibility, 6,300. He is massively better priced on FanDuel, but as you can see, still underpriced here for his role. 10% higher odds of being in the optimal. He's at 29% here. That's quite a bit higher than Victor Oladipo. We're talking 34 minutes, a fantasy point per minute, 29% usage, 22 points, 4 assists, 3 boards. He doesn't do too much outside of the scoring, but that's totally fine by me. If he falls into extra stats, that's when it's going to look good because this guy's going to heave. Same matchup as Victor Oladipo. I don't have much else to say there. The dual eligibility also helping out tremendously. Again, this is just value. With these guys being shorthanded, Eric Gordon sees additional usage, an additional assist rate just because John Wall's not on the floor. Or in the past, no Russell Westbrook or no James Harden. We know what Eric Gordon does when guys are missing. Now, he failed miserably yesterday. That is no reason to stop here. He's an essential cash game play today, and I think you should be looking aggressively in GPPs because he's in the optimal lineup more frequently than all but one player on this slate, and it's also a rocket. But before we get to that number one play, one last reminder, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live, and follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman for my sim updates. I am on live before lock tonight, starting at 6, so I will drop my updates somewhere in that 5:45 to 6 o'clock range. Not a ton of value on this slate right now, so Justin Patton is the number one contender by a mile. Center eligibility projected for 3,200. I have him projected for 21 fantasy points. The goal is 33. Optimal lineup 42% of the time. Now, this number is going to come down throughout the day as we get additional value. He won't be the only essential value piece. But for now, 0.88 fantasy points per minute. Not all that great usage, but I gave him 23 minutes, 9 points, 6 boards. It all seems like a pedestrian line taken on Cleveland. I think they're going to need someone like Justin Patton against Jared Allen, so I do think he gets that same run that he saw yesterday. And at $3,200, $200 above the minimum, he is going to help you be able to afford the Damian Lillards and the Luka Doncic's and the Joel Embiid's of the world. This is an essential piece of value right now. I expect it to come down a little bit throughout the day. If he's not starting, it will certainly come down. But with Justin Patton in the starting lineup and no other value to speak of, he is the linchpin to affording more expensive players on the slate. Justin Patton, the number one contender. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Monday, March 1st. We're going to do it all again tomorrow. Process show at 6:30. Contenders videos again. You guys know the drill. Good luck tonight. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow morning.